Alright guys, here we go again. Sounds like the news media and probably some behind the scenes government wanting more control over the internet. They don't have enough like it is. They just out today, Ukraine supposedly got hit by the BlackEnergy Trojan virus malware, and it's supposed to be designed to shut down power grids and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's take a quick listen. And then I want to show you guys how little of a threat this really is. Not saying our power grid isn't susceptible to something, but just listen to this garbage, and I'll show you at the towards the end of the video the truth of the matter.
A big story out of Eastern Europe. Ukraine says hackers are behind a big power outage in that country. The lights went out for hundreds of thousands of people right before Christmas across the western part of Ukraine. And now researchers say it was an attack, a highly destructive malware that infected the utility system in Ukraine. This would be the first ever successful BlackEnergy attack. That's the name of the malware, BlackEnergy, as worries mount about
There's a reason it's the first ever successful attack.
the vulnerability of our power grid here at home. Morgan Wright is a cybersecurity analyst, senior fellow at the Center for Digital Government. And here's the reason why we're talking about this today, Morgan. You say our critical infrastructure here already in the United States is infected with this malware. How and what does that mean?
Let's see if this has any bearing whatsoever on the actual situation that we face.
Well, look, DHS put out a report over a year ago, talking about how much of our critical infrastructure has been infected with this BlackEnergy malware. I mean, they've discovered it in a lot of these industrial control systems. And so now when we see what's happened in the Ukraine, when we see what's happened, now that we understand Iran got access to one of our dams, you know, one of the other things too, ThyssenKrupp, a company in Germany, one of their blast furnaces at one of their steel mills was taken offline, significant damage, massive damage. This is a harbinger of bad things to come. I don't want to do the skies falling, Jenna. We don't try not to do that. But I'm telling you, the fact that they demonstrated it and did this shows what they can do on a massive scale inside our own critical infrastructure.
Who is they?
Right now, it's a group dubbed Sandworm. The question is what kind of ties do they have? Look, when you and I talked about Stuxnet and Flame, when it was discovered in the centrifuges in Iran, my concern was that there was a Russian company that helped helped fix all the damage to Iran. A lot of this capability of Stuxnet, very similar things, now appears to be some of the underpinnings of what BlackEnergy does. So there's a lot of ties to Russia. And we know that between Ukraine and Lithuania and Estonia, Crimea, you know, there's a lot of influence in that region that's going on, a lot of tension. You know, I'm not trying to say somebody's responsible, but if you sit back and connect the dots, there's a lot of things that point to not only a group, but a group inside of Russia.
Oh, really? Well, guess who the group was that sent the virus into Iran, into the centrifuge? Supposedly it was the United States. Well, according to Edward Snowden, which I trust, since he's a patriot, it was the United States and Israel that got together and threw the centrifuges offline, and that virus actually took the reporting from the mechanical RPM gauges and changed the number of RPM, so the centrifuges were actually spinning at a much higher rate than what they said they were, and so they spun them up, and then they actually spun right out of they just spun them out of existence. They basically spun them, you know, they had a fixed RPM, you can't go over this, and the software was fooling it into thinking it was running much slower, and they were turning the dial up. And anyway, that's the reason why we knocked out all of their centrifuges, which was good, kept them from you know, enriching uranium for a little while. But hey, shit, how long's that been ago? But I mean, this guy's here sitting talking about how dangerous it is to our grid and how we're susceptible to go offline and all that. Not saying something new can't come out, but in this particular case, I'll show you the truth in just a minute.
The simplest of terms, what exactly is BlackEnergy malware?
What it does, Jenna, and for the viewers out there, what it does is think of this as something that goes in and it can help take control of something. But then what it does is, like in some intrusions, they don't want you to know that they've been there, the bad actors. This one actually now has a feature. It allows you to go in, invade the system, take control of it, and then start wiping things. It wipes over 4,000 different types of files. It has a feature called Kill Disk, and that's exactly what it does. It kills the hard drive. It makes it unbootable, and then it forces the machine to reboot. It's kind of what happened with Saudi Aramco back in 2012, 30,000 computers taken offline. That's pretty much what happened with Ukraine. Their critical systems, their control systems, the brains of this system were taken offline, and when they rebooted, boom, the power went out.
One former
It doesn't really know when it's malware what kind of computer it's on, and they're blaming this BlackEnergy specifically written to take power systems offline, but all he's talking about is what malware generally does. It screws your computer up and turns around, overwrites your files and all that kind of stuff. This is not specifically designed for energy systems. I'll show you that in a minute.
Officer who's now working in the private sector said that's what he found. He found these fingerprints of what the malware does after it takes control of the infrastructure, and that's why he says he was initially skeptical but now believes it is indeed a successful BlackEnergy malware attack. So
yeah, well, you know what? You need to put your underwear on before you put your pants on if you don't want your thing getting caught in your zipper. Pretty simple. I mean, the tools are out there. You know, that's a stupid group that got caught with their pants down.
It's already in our infrastructure. It's already hiding, if you will, in the corners of our infrastructure here in the United States. So if we know...
And that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard.
Can we clean it up? Can we get it out?
You can if you know where to look. I mean, think about this. This is a hotel with 10,000 rooms, and you want to find the one room that has the one piece of paper in it that's hiding somewhere in that room. It's very difficult. This is a huge complex project made more difficult, Jenna, by the fact is that a lot of these critical infrastructures don't have the most modern computer systems and the most modern networks or the most modern cybersecurity. So it becomes very difficult to hunt room by room, you know, drawer by drawer, floor by floor to try and find this stuff. It's something that has to be done, and if they don't, you're going to see the Ukraine repeated over and over again, especially here in this country.
Really? Well, I'm going to show you how easy you can do it right in the comfort of your own home on your own computer.
As we're watching it, is of course because of that. And just to review the scenario for our viewers, here we are. It's Ukraine. It's the end of December. It's freezing. You have hundreds of thousands of people without electricity, and a big question about how to bring the power back online. Morgan, what's your understanding of how the power came back?
And all you have to do is download one simple little, very, very small DAT file. It's a virus definition DAT file for your virus software. And had you downloaded this file anywhere since 2008, you wouldn't. Since 2008, your computer would already be protected against this. So obviously, yeah, the power freaking plant over in Ukraine's not even running antivirus software. How ignorant.
Is for us, if something like this happened here, also in the winter, also terrible weather outside, you know, what really is the recovery time?
Are we that ignorant we have to worry about it?
Well, a couple things. So the first thing is they were fortunate that it did rebound. I think they said they brought it back in about a half a day, to a day. And they say, well, look, hey, the good news is it came back. Well, that's like saying it's just a flip.
It should never have happened to begin with. And yes, if I was in charge of your IT department and for some reason I didn't put my underwear on before I went to work and got caught, since 2008, and I never updated my malware software, my virus software, and I got into that problem, yeah, we just drop you a freaking latest backup in there and do a restore. You don't think critical systems have backups? Holy shit.
It can happen over again. Here's the problem when it's cold. Being a former Kansas state trooper, back when we worked when the wind chills got down to 20, 30 below, when you have power go out, you have a cascading series of events of medical emergencies, response times, hospitals, nursing homes. My mother, before she passed away, was in a assisted living facility. The power went out in one of the coldest days ever in Manhattan, Kansas. So I can tell you that if the power goes out, you will have this cascading things that will tax our health care, that will tax emergency response, 911, utilities. So yeah, this is a series of dominoes. You knock the first one down, Jenna,
sure.
10 more are going to fall behind it.
Just 10 seconds more. Do you believe that we'd be able to come back online in a half a day or a day or so?
I don't think so. You look at what happened in Ohio that one time, how long things were out, even New York. I think we were so interdependent. I think it maybe in a small area, but on a big scale, no.
Wow. Certainly more to this story. I'm glad we're talking about it today. Scary as it is. Morgan, it's great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenna. I would.
No, don't worry about it. This guy's trying to build credibility up for himself. Let me show you the truth. Hang on a second. I'm going to move my video camera. All right. Sorry if the screen's a little cockeyed there. But you're looking at my computer. I did a quick search right here for BlackEnergy Malware Scanner download. I just want you to see, you can do this yourself on Google, that same search. Here it is right here, BlackEnergy A virus spyware, how to remove win32/rootkit.blackenergy.al.aa.ah. And these are different. If you watch the dates on this and go into each one of these, you can see that if this virus software has been modified, it gets caught almost immediately. First time the virus software gets introduced and somebody drops it in, sends it to their, most virus programs automatically update and send in stuff that needs to be looked at. A lot of times you'll see it come up on your own computer and say, do you want to submit this strange file? We can't identify it. That's how they find it so quick, because software like this does what it's not supposed to do. But let's just see how much of that. I'm just scrolling down through it. Excuse me. Kaspersky Labs, I think most people should recognize that. McAfee, anti-malware, they're all talking about it. I looked at Symantec. They also have a deal on it. ESET has a deal on it. Let me just go over here and click on BlackEnergy. You saw how critical and the threat is and all that. Well, there's a reason why the risk to the home user is medium and the risk to the corporate user is medium, because it is a destructive piece of malware and it will delete stuff off your computer and all that. But if you look down here at this map, let me bring it up just a hair. There's the map right there, and in the bottom corner down there, whoops, let me reset. All right. In the bottom corner down there, you see a little legend right here, high and low. What is the threat to the world here? It's very low threat. There's a reason for that. If you look right here, when was this description added? Let's just highlight this right here. 2010. All right, so let's see, 3.8 or 8.3. That should be March 8th. 2010, and it was modified or updated March 9th, 2010. I believe that's March and not August and September, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's been out there for God knows how long, and since 2010, the day that they saw it out there, your virus programs on your computer have had these data files out there that has a signature of these malwares, and then they're watching for them, they're looking for them, and they know what they look like, and so they know how to find them, identify them, and clean them off your computer. Each one of those articles I showed you right there on the other one talks about where to go and download the program that cleans it if you allowed it to, if you didn't have your virus software updated since 2010. And you got this particular malware on your computer, it tells you how to get it off. I mean, how to clean up your computer. Now, that's if, and I haven't researched it, in detail, but that's if it doesn't go out there and destroy your hard drive like this guy said it did. I don't see that on here, but I don't doubt that. You see that red link right there? Download current DAT file. If you download that file, it's a very small file, and anytime you see your software on your computer, your virus software, going out there and updating, updating virus definitions. So, I clicked on it and said, okay, I agree to the, security updates. You'll download that file. You can actually open that file up and look at it. Now, this is an exe. There's a DAT package we're used with McAfee, EPO. Let's see. Why are they showing us different ones? So this was just updated January 6th, 16. See how these things are updated every time you turn around? Because some other virus out there caused the DAT file to get updated. Doesn't mean that that file was updated because that particular virus. It's just a bunch of horse shit. They're trying to scare the American people in because they want more control of the internet. Why do they want more control of the internet? Well, it's simple. Because alternative news, okay? There's one right there. Syria in a state of complete war with terrorism, Assad full interview. If you want to know about, Syria, and does Assad need to be overthrown? Do we need to go into another country and overthrow their president? Maybe somebody needs to come in here and do it to us. That's a good article right there. You should watch that and see that Assad's the only one over there trying to help Christians and stuff. But anyway, and since they mentioned how bad Russia is and Putin, why don't you guys go out there on YouTube and just go right up here and just type in the word Putin. Look for some of the Putin. Excuse me. Look for some of the addresses where Putin has addressed his people. Here's some over here. Putin talks about an NSA, Syria, Iran, drones in exclusive RT interview. This is what you call alternative media, because you can't get the truth from even Fox News sometimes, which Fox News is the absolute best, most accurate, but something like this is garbage. But don't even bother turning on the MSNBC unless you're a left-wing radical nut. You just want to hear everybody bash other people. And then CNN's for those people that just, we can't figure out what we want to do today. Let's watch some news since we don't have any freaking basis, no knowledge of what's going on. We'll just listen to whatever they tell us. But, don't worry about it. Power grid's not going offline tomorrow, but don't think for 1 minute that it couldn't, because if hacker groups start working on getting into our power grid, they absolutely could. But we don't need the government to fix that problem for us. They're just wanting more control, so you can't get to videos like these. You can't find out the truth. You can't get to alternative media websites, not just YouTube, to find the truth. So that's what they're trying to do. And they've been working on that for a long time. That's part of your First Amendment free speech rights, for other people to share things with you, for you to get on YouTube, for me to make videos like this. So anyway, I just want to pass that along to you. So God bless. Jeez. Listen but verify. Start taking a few minutes here and a few minutes there to research this kind of stuff. Cheers. Y'all have a good time.